It's February. It's not only February, it's 45 in February. We just got a 60-degree week, which was kind of nutty, and it felt really good. Like, oh my God, I had spring fever, terrible. But anyway, so this brings me to checking my dahlia tubers, because we have 10 days before March hits, and it's still a little early. But you do want to make sure that none of your tubers are molding or rotting and that sort of thing. And I'm storing them 2 different ways this year. If you remember, I'm doing the styrofoam cooler with newspaper, and then they're wrapped in saran wrap, and in they go. And I did just the big old paper box. Cardboard box with the same thing, saran wrap and newspaper. So an interesting thing has happened. So I'm going through the dahlias and I'm unwrapping them a little bit, and in this one I see a sprout. Do you see that little white horn it looks like right there? This one at the very bottom, it got no light, it got nothing. It was like buried at the bottom, and it's starting to sprout. So what we're gonna do, this is Cafe au Lait Rose. I don't blame it for wanting to grow. I literally gave it an ego like this big this year because it was so gorgeous. It was like the most beautiful dahlia. So I'm gonna multiply my stock with this. It's already starting to grow, so I'm gonna let it, and I'm gonna take cuttings. Once these get big enough, like 2 to 3 inches, I'm gonna take cuttings from it, and I'm gonna multiply my stock. So that's like jump starting my dahlia season, but the rest of them look great. They're very firm. They're not shriveled. They're really just, they're really exactly how you want them. And that's good because I don't have room to start all of these dahlias, but I'm so excited. So we're definitely going to do some cuttings on Cafe au Lait Rose because, oh, you cannot have enough of that dahlia. It's amazing. All right. And then another thing happened. So I'm going to take you along. Maybe if I can move this properly. There we go. I don't know why I have an accent all of a sudden. All right, so this is an interesting thing. So these are all stored and wrapped the same way. But when I was checking these, if I can get this one unwrapped, there's a little bit of like a mold or a white fuzz here. So the tubers are still firm, but around the neck and around the eye zone, there's a little kind of like, it almost looks spider webby, and that is the start of mold. So what I have to do, I don't know what the difference is between the styrofoam and the cardboard box, but the cardboard box tubers, they are definitely starting to get that webby white mold. So I'm going to dip these in cinnamon because cinnamon actually stops, it's like an antifungal. So just take the powder and I'm going to dip it in and put them into the styrofoam cooler. The cardboard box, I just need them to hold off for like 1 month. That's it. And then they can all start sprouting and yeah, so I'm not sure what happened. I kind of assumed, being in a concrete garage, that the box would actually dry out. I was more worried about these drying out, but I think maybe I wrapped them a little too tight in saran wrap and put them in here. Maybe the temperatures fluctuated more with the cardboard box than they do with the styrofoam cooler, because the styrofoam cooler tubers, they're wrapped exactly the same way, but these are being affected and the other ones weren't. So that's kind of an interesting observation. So if I had to do it again, I would definitely get more of the styrofoam coolers, because honestly, I've done that every year since I've had dahlias and I've never had a problem. But the box, first year trying this, same exact way, except for in a box, and they are starting to get a little bit of that webby stuff on the neck and eye zone. So I'm going to solve, they're not corners though. You know, that's an easy fix right now. Had I not checked on them, who knows what would happen. I think the mold is just going to start taking over the tubers. It's not good. They are individually wrapped, but you really want to keep them nice and clear of any mold that's starting. So I'm going to go ahead and check on all of these. I'm going to clean them up, dip them in cinnamon, and then get these tubers into the styrofoam cooler as well. I kind of had a lot of newspaper cushioning in between the layers of the styrofoam cooler. So I think I'm just going to throw them all back in there. We have like literally a month. And if they do start to sprout, I'll just start taking cuttings and, you know, we'll go from there. The best part is they're making it over winter. So that is super exciting. But anyway, I just wanted to give you a little bit of a heads up about what we're doing and the status of the Dahlia tubers.